Hi, my name is Jim Burris, and I help people who've been struggling with anxiety for years, for decades, sometimes just only a few months. And they've really, I don't want to say given up, but they've tried everything from conventional treatments, prescription medications, the different therapies, the odd things that, or some things I guess that maybe work for some people that you see on social media ads. They've typically even tried things like acupuncture, tapping, meditation, all the different, what most people would call alternative methods, but they still haven't found results. Today I'm making a video for you. I want to talk about an exercise, a meditation exercise that I don't know, well, necessarily if you're suffering with a deep anxiety disorder, or fear disorder, I guess is what I choose to call it, will really help end it, but it'll help you tremendously to calm your mind. And in the Peaceful Mind Blueprint, we go through step by step the program, the blueprint, the steps that I actually use to end my anxiety. I'm not a doctor. I'm not playing one here on YouTube. I'm just here to share my story, to give hope, and to help people out there who've been suffering with anxiety. So the exercise I want to talk to you today is a meditation exercise, and this is good whether you have anxiety or not. So honestly, if you don't have anxiety, this is an amazing thing to do to get control of your mind. So essentially, we all have what if thoughts. People with anxiety just typically have like it's a different. Most people have like a 2-story house of what if thoughts. People with anxiety have like the Empire State Building or a 500-story like skyscraper, which I don't even think there's a thing. But that's the level of what if thoughts that people that truly suffer with a fear disorder have. It's hard for a lot of people to understand if they've never dealt with it, and that's okay, right? But essentially, the what if thoughts are, it could be as extreme as with anxiety. It's typically, oh my God, I've got this weird pimple on my arm. It must be stage 4 cancer, or just there's a term for it where just everything is very dramatic. I'm sorry, I can't think of the term right now, but everything is just dramatic, and it's just way out in left field. Like, oh, my girlfriend didn't call me today. She must not want to see me anymore. That's a symptom of anxiety and an uncontrolled thought. Now, everybody probably has thoughts like that from time to time, and they're okay. The key is to be aware of them, because most people are essentially, and this is a blanket statement across the world, planet Earth, most people are essentially hypnotized going through their day-to-day life. So one of the ways to get control of that back is to learn to get to focus your attention and to have present moment awareness. And one of the exercises to do this is, and I didn't invent this exercise. I heard it from a mentor of mine, and I've applied it in my life, and tremendous results. I didn't actually learn this. I guess you would consider it a meditation. I call it a mental exercise. And until, I don't know, maybe a year ago, I learned meditation not quite 20 years ago, but pretty close. I had still had anxiety. I was able to meditate with anxiety. It didn't get rid of my anxiety, but I think it helped to some extent, helped me focus. But the leaf exercise really helps you control those thoughts where because throughout the day, whether you're driving your car or walking or trying to do your job, it's, oh, I've got to pay this bill. I'm going to go get new brakes on the car. When Mike said that at the water cooler, what did he mean? Just those things. Insert those thoughts that you have where I was just saying. And if you don't think you have them, just stop and go sit on your couch or somewhere comfortable for 5 minutes. Control your body and just relax. You'll start to hear them, or you know what I mean. Think them essentially. And if you can't sit there and control your body for 5 minutes, then you really need to do this exercise. I mean, sit there in silence. So the leaf exercise. So what I need you to do is create a scene in your mind, in your imagination. So if you're not sure how to do that, if I said like yellow elephant, or think of your refrigerator, you just thought of a yellow elephant, right? or think of your refrigerator, you just saw that on the screen of your mind. So in your mind, in that spot, you need to relax your body. So you may want to take a couple of deep breaths and just think about your, I don't know, energy, or just your body just kind of relaxing from your head, the top of your head. And as you exhale, this part of your body relaxes. Exhale, a little bit more of your body relaxes. That's a technique that I found that's worked for me. You'll just have to try and see what works for you. And don't give up. Just have a little persistence. Or you can count backwards, maybe from 100, and count your breaths. And then as you get relaxed, have a scene in your mind of a lake somewhere, a pond, maybe somewhere that you've seen, or you can actually go to the park, or somewhere. I don't know where in the world you live. Go somewhere and just say, okay, here's a lake and here's some trees, or a pond, or if you're maybe in Colorado or somewhere where there's mountains, you can just have create this scene, actually going to see it and remember it, or just create it in your mind. You can do it. You can look online too as well, but I think going to it in person, if you have a hard time, will really help, because it brings in more of your senses. So it'll help kind of ingrain it. So once you have that scene, you need to, I'm just reading my card here because I want to make sure I get this exactly step by step, because I've never really taught this yet. So once you have that scene, imagine yourself there in first person. Don't see yourself sitting there. Be there looking at the lake. That's called thinking from versus thinking of. So imagine yourself sitting there at the lake, and then a leaf comes down, right? You could study some leaves in real life, whether it's oak leaves. I don't know what leaves you have in your area. Hopefully everywhere has leaves, but you know what a leaf is. Study them online. Do whatever it takes. Just always have that philosophy, whatever it takes. And count the leaf. I don't get hung up on the 10 at first. 10 soy, 1, 2, 3. If you can do that already, that's awesome. Go ahead and do it. But just see the leaf fall, see it hit the water, and see the effects. There's typically would be like a small ripple, right? And that would be, then you would say 1, right? The goal is to get to 20 initially, and then you want to get to 50 without interruptions of random thoughts. So, what do I mean by that? So if you closed your eyes and you're thinking, you see the leaf come down, right? And you get to 1, and then you're watching the second leaf, and then all of a sudden you're thinking about, oh, I got to get little Johnny's karate uniform from the dry cleaners. That may be a valid thought that needs to happen, or it may be if you have panic disorder or a fear disorder, it could be some very irrational, illogical thought to most people, that XYZ doesn't like you because the way they gave you a cup of water. You know how it is if you have OCD, anxiety, that you understand that what I'm talking about, that very extreme thought that's totally irrational. So you may have those, or you may just have something legitimate, like, oh shit, the electric bill's due tomorrow. Or, whatever it is. We all have busy lives. There's nothing wrong with having those thoughts. 0.0. You just need to be aware of them. So if you catch yourself having those thoughts, when you catch yourself, because you're going to have them, you have to start over. I don't care if you get to 19 and you have a thought that's not just focused on that leaf. You go back to 1. And that may sound easy to some of you, and that may sound hard. I don't know. It takes a while. It took me, in the beginning, I would just rush through it. So I'd be like, I realized, okay, I'm only getting to 5 or 8, and then I'd start over, and just do it for 10 minutes, just 5 minutes initially. Just start doing it. Start 3 minutes, whatever it takes. But ultimately, you want to get to 10 minutes or 15 minutes. I do it now when I meditate. I'll relax, and then I still do it. I do it pretty much every day. There's some days where I don't, just if I, got to rush to a meeting or something. And, some days I get up at 4:30, but some days I don't, right? So just being transparent. I may not do it on those days, but 90% of the time during the week I do it. But yeah, once you have those thoughts, you want to get to, the 20 leaves. And things that you can do to help yourself get there are, build those, go actually see the scene. And then also sitting up in a chair. Ultimately, you want to get to the point where you can sit like lotus position, with your legs crossed. I don't typically do that most of the time, where I sit on the hard floor, or, whatever. I sit in the same place every day. I've learned. Someone suggested that I do that I meditate and do this leaf exercise in the same place every day. So I've just done that, and it seemed to help me get into a deeper meditative state quicker. And I think it's just probably just from your brain. It's being familiar. There's less like new shit in the environment. But I've also sat on my couch. I've sat in an office chair and done it. This chair right now is just a wooden. It's actually a kitchen table chair, but I like it for my office chair because it's just like, I don't know, it's firm and it forces me to kind of sit up straight most of the time. Eventually you want to get to the point where you can do that, because then it's just more control over your body. You've heard of the whole mind-body connection. That's kind of where we're going with it, but not weirdo deep dive into that. But that's essentially what you're trying to do is have control of your mind and your body. That's what we're trying to do here. And the goal, right, just to kind of reiterate, the goal is to control your attention, right? And your focus and your present moment awareness. And then you'll start to notice more of the inner dialogue that you have in your brain. And don't freak out once you notice it, if you've never noticed it. Even people with anxiety, when I've talked to them and I'm like, that inner dialogue, and they're like, I don't have inner dialogue. And I'm like, you do. Everybody does, right? It's who we are as human beings. And especially people with anxiety, it's usually worse because that's typically just the ruminating thoughts. I think it was what it was, and catastrophizing everything. That's like your inner dialogue. And essentially when you eliminate, if you're watching this because you have anxiety, when you eliminate that anxiety, you become very aware of those thoughts, right? Because you're just more present. But they start to eliminate and go away. They're just, I look at them as like weeds, that just pop up. And you want to have those thoughts pop up. But by doing this exercise, and definitely by eliminating your anxiety, instead of these weeds popping up, think of your mind as like a garden or like a farm field or vegetable garden. Instead of having like this nasty ass weed thought that pops up like, oh, I'm no good, I'm not worthy, or this, I got a pain in my toe, I must have stage 4 cancer, or you know what I mean? Just people just catastrophizing. Once you get control of your thoughts and you essentially retrain your brain, I don't know, it's kind of a weird word for most people. You're still going to have those thoughts, but they'll go to things like, man, I did a really great job yesterday. I did exactly what I said I was going to do. That was a great sales call. I wonder, I'm really excited about this weekend with the kids. You'll start to have more thoughts that you, I'm assuming, would prefer to have that are more encouraging, more light thoughts, positive thoughts that, if you're going to think randomly and automatically, why not be stuff that makes you feel good? That's ultimately where you want to get to. So that's the leaf exercise. Again, I didn't invent it, but I've meditated for years, and it's really helped me over the last, year doing that, just with my focus on my goal, like the things I'm working on in my business and in sales, and just being present. I've completely eliminated social media from my life. I look at it on the computer every once in a while, just to keep up with friends and, some family that's on there. So I'm not saying never to use it, but you'll probably find yourself using it less. I would encourage you to deliberately try to use it less or completely eliminate it, like slowly wean yourself off of it. Same thing with the news and negative music. I love music, but I've found that a lot of stuff that I like, I still listen to it from time to time, but essentially it's hypnotic. And until you have complete control of your mind, that's a very vague term, but until you have awareness of your thoughts and you're thinking, and you've noticed a positive impact in your life, I would highly encourage you to greatly reduce or eliminate that as much as possible, um, and do this leaf exercise, because they'll just really work together, and it'll help. They'll complement each other by not doing one thing and doing more of the leaf exercise. You'll find yourself being more calm and present during the day. For some of you that have an anxiety disorder, I believe, I'm not a doctor, not playing one on this YouTube channel. Don't take this as medical advice. Always talk to your doctor. I'm just telling you that I believe this exercise for some people will completely eliminate their anxiety. Some people. If it's still around for you, I would encourage you to be open to checking out the Peaceful Mind Blueprint. There's a link in the description. Depending on when you're watching this video, I'm actually offering it for free for the first couple of, whether it's 5 people, 10 people, 100 people that start to use it, that go through it. Because I just developed the program, and I'm really trying to fine-tune it to give the maximum benefit to the most amount of people. And I know that by helping people for free, some people won't do anything with it. They'll just sign up because they'll feel good about it. But some of you will do it, and you'll get your life back. And that's why I'm doing it. But also the dirty little secret as a marketer and a salesman, I know that some of you will give me testimonials and say, "Hey, Jim, this really changed my life." And that's the goal that I want for everyone. But I know that those videos will help me help more people, because I can, and written testimonials, whatever it is. And you don't have to put, your information in there. You can just write it to me. And I have integrity, so I wouldn't just write them myself, obviously. So, those will help me actually sell the program when I go to sell it, because it helps people that, they don't know me yet or trust me. They've just maybe seen a video or two. Some social proof is what it's called, if you're curious, what a testimonial does. It helps influence or demonstrate to people that, hey, this person, this guy, Jim actually knows what he's talking about. He's helped these people. So I hope you get some value out of this, whether you have anxiety or not. If you're just trying to control your thoughts and become more present and achieve more, you'll be surprised what you do if you do this consistently for 30, 60, 90 days. That scares some people. 30, 60, 90 days. I need it overnight. That's not going to happen. How's doing things overnight? Have you gotten rich quick yet? You probably haven't. So thank you for watching this. And if you're ready, if you have anxiety and you're ready to get your life back, click the link below. Also, I have a program where I'm going to be going over a lot of this material about controlling your mind and focus attention and being present. And I don't like using the word law of attraction because it's just a buzzword, but that's really like some old school way of saying, like, hey, when you're present, you do attract more positive things. Like your thoughts do impact the world around you. So I'm starting up a program for that as well. And you can do both. If you have anxiety, you can be part of both. But the Peaceful Mind Blueprint was initially started to help people eliminate anxiety, and that's my primary goal. But I'm also going to start sharing the information that I've learned from my mentors over the years, the decades, that have made a positive impact in my life to help me achieve my goals. I went from 20 years ago, my oldest son's 22, so I guess it's been it's been 18 years, I guess, since I really dove deep into this. And I went from, at the time making 30 grand a year, 35 grand with 3 little kids living in St. Petersburg, Florida, just to barely getting by, just struggling. I never could go out and couldn't go out to like dinner with my wife at the time, my kid's mother, I consider it living the life of my dreams. I don't have a yacht, and that's not my goal. That's not really what I want. I do believe I could get there if I wanted. I just don't have a desire for it. But I have an amazing home that I love. My kids are healthy and happy. I have grandkids, and I have an amazing life. And my income has times 7-ish over the years. So per year, not you know what I mean, not just over the last 20 years, I've made 7 times as much as 30 grand, but consistently year over year. I've gotten into a career that I love. I've started a business, and you can too. It's possible. I'm a inner city kid from the streets of St. Louis. Grew up what I thought was middle class. Maybe maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But had a good life. Now looking back, I realize I had an amazing life. I still have an amazing life. You have an amazing life because you're breathing air, and you have the ability to think and choose. So if you're interested in joining the Peaceful Mind Blueprint, or if you'd like some information about potentially joining the coaching side of the Peaceful Mind Blueprint, where we talk more about the how to control your mind after anxiety, and even if you've never had anxiety, this could be a good fit for you. Click the link below. You can watch that video. I don't know what links will be in there right when you watch this because I'm just setting up all my tech stack stuff. But just enter your information and I'll get in touch with you. Just be on the lookout for your email. Right now, there's an option to enter your phone number. You can do that if you want to. You don't have to. I'm not going to call you. I might later down the road, it might be text, stuff like that. But don't just you have to put your email in so we can communicate. And I'm looking forward to hearing your success story. And have an amazing day. I know you will. And if you got some value from this, please like and subscribe. That really helps me with whatever the YouTube algorithm, whatever it's called, helps me reach more people so we can help more people together. All right. We'll see you on the inside. Thanks.